Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to NUFC
Here,
Talk TV. We're live.
Christopher. So
Why?
we
You
got
hear me?
some breaking news stories.
You got some breaking news
Do you
stuff.
know you're not in the studio?
Who? You hear me? When? What are you talking about, man? We're here. We're here when?
Um, I can see you on my YouTube feed, but I can't see you in the studio.
Oh, jump back out and jump back in. No worries. That should be fixed. So, welcome, everybody. Hit the like button. Don't forget to do that. Please hit the like button right now, immediately. Don't forget to do that. Become a member if you can. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. You're going to get all exclusive content if you become a member. You're going to get the quiz night on review. You're going to get all shows on video on demand, basically. Some shows are public live, but then they go to the members' vault.
Hey,
And that's how, there you go. For some reason, I'm listening to myself. Do you
can
hear
you
me?
hear me?
I can hear you.
And can you see me? Am I synced?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. For some reason, I'm listening to myself though. Not sure what's going on there, but it's only, do you hear? Do you hear an echo with
We're
me?
definitely going to have to get a sound engineer. I'm perfect.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, it's crazy. But welcome everyone. Hope everyone is doing well, and smash that like button. Very important to do that, if you don't mind. Actually, I'm good now. We're good. All right. We got to talk about this Craig Hope Confidential that he put out. When did he put it out? 11 in the morning for me, the 14th, 2 days ago. Mr. Craig Hope. First of all, he's got up by the way, these confidentials supposedly are not free. Well, they're not free, are they, Mighty Win? That's not supposedly.
Definitely not free. I haven't even
Yeah.
seen it. You've never sent it to me yet, so it's going to be
I
all
haven't sent it
brand
to
new
you?
to me.
Oh, man. I thought I did send it to you, but no. Okay.
No, you sent us
Well,
the previous one.
we're going to expose it for free so people don't have to pay for it. And we're basically, giving people the insight on what's happening. He says ex Arsenal chief close to Silverstone discussed as new CEO. So we got to speak on the new CEO. Everybody's been quiet about that. Everybody haven't. I mean, really, nobody's really bringing this up, and it should be brought up to discussion because
Was this that Phineas Loads of Fowls fella?
no, no. Well, he is. I can't remember his name now, but let me see.
Phineas
He's,
somebody.
oh, Venkatesham. Venkatesham. I think this is his name. Indian guy. He's been operating at Arsenal for a while. Then he stopped that job. But we're gonna get into it, of course. He also Craig Hope provides what he thinks the length of Kraft's absence will be, and how that affects us. Two new scouts set to arrive. We mentioned one the other day, by the way, from Manchester. He was already celebrating against Forest, so I mean, might as well announce him.
I
Um,
thought he was the analyst.
well, two new scouts set to arrive. Let's go. We're gonna get to that one. He also mentions late night for Gordon. Not sure what that means. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna bring it up. As we read it, and apparently, Mr. Wilson is working to come back pretty soon. So I mean, you would expect that, but I don't know
Again,
if that's breaking news so much. But it is what it is.
that's like
But
it's like recurring news that you see going round on the ticker.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the more the days pass, the sooner you think you'll show up,
Yeah, indeed.
right? He's been funnying around in Qatar and doing all that stuff. Being a good ambassador that he
Still got an
is.
extra week because he's got till Monday.
Well, he does have an extra week. I mean, all the way until when do we play? By the way, Saturday or Sunday?
Monday, I think, isn't it this week?
Sunday. Well, that's even better.
No, Monday.
Oh, Monday. Yeah, that is true.
I think it's Monday night, isn't it?
Yeah,
I hope
yeah, it's
so.
Monday. It's Monday actually. Now that I remember, yes, it is Monday. So, good morning, Brent. Good morning, everyone. Let me see. We gotta share this. We gotta share this thing, man. Come on now. Get on here and let's discuss all things tune. Let me see.
8
All
o'clock
right, we got.
Monday, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it is Monday. And so we're gonna talk about all that stuff. Oh man, we got a ladybug here, scared the crap out of me. And let's start with the CEO. I mean,
Ladybug in America, Lady Bird over here.
Lady Bird.
Ladybird, yeah.
What would you call a bird a bug, man? That makes no sense. Uh,
That's what it's called, Ladybird.
all right. Well, anyways,
As
let's
in
talk
the
about the
wife
CEO.
of LBJ.
Let's talk about the CEO, man. Nobody's been talking about this.
We're talking about
And
LBJ, not CAO. Get your acronyms right.
speak up, man. Can't hear you. Anyways, let me know
I've
if you
had a
can hear
good
me
night's
anyway,
sleep,
because
man. I'm in the mood.
yeah, well, I'm here to discuss things, man. I'm here to talk about the
Ah,
tune,
misery,
not
misery,
not
misery.
to
When
be a
you had to get
comedian,
up
man.
early again.
Not to be a comedian. So he is 43 years of age. He has worked with current Chief Commercial Officer Peter Silverstone for Arsenal for 7 years. They formed a close relationship. The Goonies signed a 300 million 5-year deal with kit supplier Adidas during their time in North London before Silverstone left in 22 and Venkatesham stood down earlier this year, citing his desire to pursue a new challenge. Um, so, when he left Arsenal, Silverstone on his LinkedIn page said, "Congratulations, they're friends." So, um, but apparently, this guy is the guy that is looking to take over Darren Neal's. And, as we know, he was confirmed in September that Newcastle's uh, C- chief CEO Darren Neal's would be standing down from his position after being diagnosed with a chronic form of blood cancer, and he will continue to work until a successor is appointed. But at some point in time, we got to work. I mean, you got to get it done because things I'm sure will get tougher for Darren, and he's got to focus on other things. So, and also it's not as Newcastle needs to keep going, and all these meetings with the league and Man City and the sponsorship need to have somebody that's going to be there for a while. So, have you ever heard of this Vinay Venkatesham?
I hadn't. No, not at all. But I mean, to be fair, you don't hear about the people in the back room, do you? Much, except for your own club. You know your own club kind of thing. But yeah, so I can't tell you anything about him. I wait with bated breath.
Look at this now, because he doesn't believe me, folks. He doesn't believe me. Look at the comments.
Well, how long you just spent trying to do it?
Well, we not really
One,
five
two.
minutes.
Can
So,
you hear me?
well, you need to put it like right in, like touching it basically,
I'm
and not let it go.
I'm virtually touching it.
Stop looking anywhere, man. Just look in front of the camera. You don't have your. You should have your software in front of you, right there, not on the right. But you don't listen, man. You don't listen. All right. Well, there you go. You hear from the people, so we got to get that sorted immediately. But yeah, you're right. You don't really hear from these guys, but you still got to point the right one, or else you're going to be knackered. And I mean, I guess anybody that's been in this kind of position before can do the job. I would assume.
Well, the point of the matter is, I think we were all very happy when Silverstone came. You know, we saw all the stuff that he'd done at Arsenal in terms of the commercial deals, and if this was his 2IC at Arsenal and we are getting him, sounds good to me.
Just that simple.
Well, what else is there to say? You know, I don't know anything about him. I can't comment on what he's done. All I can say is that Peter Silverstone thinks that he's good enough, that he's the guy, and he's worked for 7 years with him beforehand. Power to his elbow. Let's see them drag the deals in.
Yeah. Like I mean, you're right in a
Because
sense.
that's what we want when it's commercial income that we need. And
Yeah,
that's
but
what Silverstone's there for.
how many of that have we gotten? I mean, can he really do that? Let's be honest. Can he really do anything? I mean, PIF needs to approve everything. They need to. They need to. He We don't know what
Yeah,
we can do yet.
but when he was at Arsenal, he didn't have PIF. When he was at Arsenal, he had to go out in the open marketplace and find deals, and he did that. You know, Arsenal's Arsenal's revenue is way above ours, which is why they can let Arteta spend, you know, £1 billion near us, damn it, to build his team. And our revenue, you know, which just stagnated under Ashley, is slowly but surely building up. As Darren Neal said in his, you know, when he kind of said he would be stepping down speech, in his time at Newcastle, they've gone from under 200 million revenue to whatever it is now, 320 million now, and rising. And Ashley just didn't take any notice at all of, you know, all he was bothered about was having Sports Direct signs all over the pitch. And that was him happy, not getting relegated. Or if we did get relegated, shove enough money in to make sure we got straight back up so that the Sports Direct signs were all over the world again. And I don't know if you saw Roy's thing that he put on for the post he put in the group chat from, I think it was Dubai Airport. Who's got a big shop in Dubai Airport? Sports Direct.
Oh, really?
Would they have had a shop there if he hadn't been sponsoring Newcastle for 14 years? So Premiership exposure for 14 years all around the world. Would he have had a shop in Dubai Airport? Don't think so.
Yeah.
Seller have proven, as I was saying last recent podcast that we did, Seller have had to double that staff to cope with the demand from inquiries, almost directly as a result of the shirt sponsorship.
Yeah,
it's fantastic exposure,
man. The Craig Hope sources tell him that a thorough recruitment process using external specialists, as was the case with previous executive appointments, is taking place, and the PIF will make the eventual appointment. Venkatesham's potential candidacy would be strengthened by his work in the women's football and his commercial background. He claims to have signed deals totaling to $2 billion in his career. Well, it's $2 billion a lot for a career in football.
Well, what does it work out at? 400. If you reckon they're 5-year deals, £400 million a year, a lot of money.
He was working at Arsenal. I mean, you would expect that Arsenal would pull those numbers anyway, in a long period of time.
Yeah,
but I mean,
they still have to be pulled in. That's the thing. You know, you've got to find the big sponsors and persuade them that Arsenal's the vehicle for them.
Well,
I don't think it should be a hard job for any Premiership club. This is why we've got to get out of this mindset of thinking, £50 million for it's not going to be very long before every club in the Premiership is getting that sort of money in for sponsor. The fact that you happen to be Man United as opposed to Stoke City get virtually the same exposure as Man United get. Man United might be on telly a few times more, but the bottom line
I'll never agree with that.
The brand that's on your shirt is still getting seen all over the world.
Yeah, but never agree with that. Never. That means that.
What's your logic for not agreeing with
my
that?
logic is that people want to follow the big clubs. They will do what the big clubs do, and not. You can give me the same exposure.
So when the big clubs are on the pitch.
Yeah, but nobody. But here's the thing. Manchester United has a big following, so they will if they see whatever brand on the shirt, they will follow that instead of following Ipswich, instead of following Crystal Palace. I do agree that they do have a certain exposure.
I'm saying is,
yeah, I do agree that they have certain exposure because they're playing against
a big following, but their fans, all the Man United fans, for example, still buy cars. So if Mercedes-Benz happen to have their advertising logo on a Stoke City shirt, all of those Man United fans are still seeing the Mercedes-Benz brand. That's getting shoved in their face, which
And
is what
that's fine.
advertising's all about.
Yeah,
Awareness,
and
awareness.
that should account for something. However, if I get my brand sponsored by Manchester United or Liverpool or Real Madrid or Barcelona, my brand is going to blow up faster than if they're sponsored by Stoke City or Ipswich or Luton. It's simple, man.
I agree.
So that's why those clubs need to get more money and
But
get more money.
Let's assume, as is the case at the minute, that Man United are advertising TeamViewer, which is software for the business fraternity. How many Manchester United fans are ever going to use TeamViewer? Not many of them.
No, I agree with you, but I agree with you with that. I mean, but at the end of the day, that doesn't mean
when Man United are playing, most of them are betting at the minute, to be fair, so it's irrelevant. But all of the betting companies are vying for brand recognition, for people to use their betting site instead of somebody else's. So if you're a gambler who's a Man United fan, you're going to see all these different betting brands on all the other shirts.
Also, something that Jim Stasher brings up is key. You're going to see on television Manchester United way more than you're going to see Stoke City.
Well, you're going to see Stoke City twice a year when they play Man United, twice a year when they play Man City, twice a year when they play Liverpool.
I understand that, but that's still that doesn't make Stoke City, poor Stoke City. We're grabbing them, talking about them as if they're rubbish, and unfortunately, they're not a big club. They're not. So it's not that you can't negotiate. Stoke City,
substitute Ipswich for Stoke City.
Whoever, they can't negotiate a bigger contract or same contract as sponsors that manage.
No, they can't get as big a sponsor as Man.
Exactly.
United,
so what's the point here?
But they can get huge sponsorship nonetheless. I think we did a show when we had a list of all the main sponsors, and Ed Sheeran is sponsoring Ipswich
because he owns it. He doesn't sponsor it. He owns Ipswich.
Ipswich could easily get a major brewery, for example, to sponsor their shirts for much more than whatever it was, 8 million or something.
But this is the thing. Why don't they do it? Because
they haven't got the right men doing what Silverstone's doing. And
what the hell is Silverstone doing for Newcastle?
What's he doing for Newcastle? What's
Silverstone doing?
Well, he's pulled in since he's been in. He's pulled in, whatever it is. The last figure was 70 million or something.
What is it? What sponsorships has he brought up to the table? What has he done?
Let's have a look.
Because at this moment in time, I haven't seen nobody getting nothing. No sponsorships, no nothing. We got Sella. I mean, yes, this season we get paid more than we did before on a lot of things, on the shirt, on Adidas, on Sella. Well, not just this season, but since we had Sella, we had all these guys. But we got the same sponsors. We don't have anything new other than Adidas this year, which is great. But it was already lined up. When I spoke to Darren Niels in Nashville, he told me it's a very, very lucrative deal. It's 3 times the amount of money we were getting before, and that was great. But that was then.
He's got Red Bull in to replace Monster.
Okay. Well, I thought that was a Paul Mitchell thing that you guys were excited about when Paul Mitchell came in, but okay.
Well, Paul Mitchell's got nothing to do with the commercial side.
Well, no, but here on this channel, see, we forget, we just spout everything out there, and we never think of remembering what we say. Here on this channel was said, Paul Mitchell came in. As soon as he came in, Red Bull was in, and people said, well, that I guarantee you he has something to do with that because he knows Red Bull and blah, 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 and Red Bull Leipzig or wherever he was at. So
Sportsbet.io, JD, Sports Retailers, BetMGM, Saudi Air, InPost, or a parcel delivery service.
I can guarantee you these. All the people you're talking about. Yeah, okay. FedEx.
Carling, Red Bull, Quid, whoever Quid are, QUIDD.
Well, exactly my point. Exactly my point. All these
BT
sponsorships.
Markets,
All right.
Financial Traders.
All these sponsorships. Oh, by the way, sorry. Thank you, Ian Fleming, for the kind on membership gifting. 2 minutes ago, Ian Fleming gifted memberships going to Alessandro Minetti. Cheers, Ian.
Shame
Thank you,
on
mate.
you, Alexandro. I thought you were a member.
Alessandro, man, you should be a member, man. Shame on you, for real, man. You've been on here for a long time. But no, listen. All these sponsors that you're talking about, that
Well, I'm
guarantee
saying
you.
that's who's come in since.
Yeah, but I
Silverstone
mean,
was
okay,
appointed.
perfect.
By
So,
the way, I haven't included Seller, Noon, and Sauder because they, you kind of put them down to Silverstone. They are down to
well,
down to
exactly.
Pip.
So you shouldn't. I mean, you shouldn't.
Well, I'm not.
Okay, then. So don't even mention them. All these other people that you talk about, all these other brands, I guarantee you they don't.
The only effect that those ones have is, of course, they are the big ones.
Yeah, but
So
everybody.
he can't go and find somebody else to be a shirt sponsor when PIF wants Seller there.
Exactly. So
So that you could argue he could easily go out and find somebody to replace Seller for 25 million a year.
well, I don't know about that, or not. So I mean, look, my thing is, I don't see this spectacular work that this guy's doing. I mean, I'm sure he's doing his job. That's fine, or a fair job, decent, not bad, not amazing. But it's. I, I don't
Well, I think
listen, man. We don't
wasn't it
we don't have to throw a party over everything. It's okay. He's doing a good job,
Well,
decent.
isn't anybody throwing a party? You were
But
saying, this all started off by you asking, did I know anything about
well, yeah.
and I don't.
Well, no. Well, we'll see what he
But
can do.
all I would
But
say
he,
is that we've appointed Silverstone because we thought he was best in class, and he's worked with this guy before, so he obviously rates him. So he's brought him on board. So his knowledge in that area is far greater than mine. So I just say, right, well, if you think he's a good guy, he's a good guy.
well, I mean, oh, by the way, is nothing set in stone yet, but he is one of the, I guess, big candidates for this job. Um, and at the end of the day, we don't know. He will be in charge of everything,
the
though.
way I looked, the way I heard it, he'd been actually mooted for Darren Niels' job, which is above Silverstone. That was what I'd read.
Well, of course. The Venkatesan is looking to be a CEO of Newcastle United, which is
Right.
Darren Niels' job.
In that case, he'll actually be above Peter Silverstone as opposed
Well,
to
of
working
course.
for him.
He's not going to work for him. No, that's not what this says. He's going to be going CEO. He's going to be in charge of everything Newcastle United. So it's not just any job, and I would assume to a certain extent he will be the last word when it comes to signings, when it comes to open up the checkbook. He'll be the last word. I don't think that the Prince of Saudi Arabia is bothered or cares about what players we sign, or interested in knowing how to recruit or anything like that. My end, I don't think he's caring about that either. So I think it's gonna be up to the CEO to what we do as far as signings and all that, and of course everything, commercial deals, everything that goes on in Newcastle. So it's not an easy job, and it's not just an easy pick, man. It's a big one. It's a big one.
I agree, and way above my pay grade.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens with him. He is also a qualified management accountant, which is useful in a world of profit and sustainability rules. So we'll have to see. That's his name is. Let me see what his first name is, man. His last name is Venkatishan. Um, 43 years of age, so young guy to be fair. Young guy. He worked at Arsenal, so he's one of the candidates. And PIF will make a decision pretty soon. I'm sure that Darren Niels might have some type of a word and say, okay, this guy's decent. But ultimately PIF will make that decision on their own. So we'll have to see about that. I don't know if anybody has any comments. Let's go with the comment section so people can have their opinion.
What Ginger says, in
Hey, let me go to start comments.
mate,
Let me
he
go.
was above. I think it was him. He was above him at Arsenal. Do people not do their homework? He left Arsenal this summer.
Yeah, we said that he left this Arsenal this summer.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to tune in when the show starts before you judge people, Mr. Ginger Hoskins. Alan Thompson, hi lads, you spot on win. Commercial revenue is key to us. Been a top four club simples under Ashley. We dissolved into a nothing club, as everyone in the world knows. Trolls, if we get this guy, let's see how he does in fire or keep. I don't think you can just. I don't think you got a contract as well. I don't think you can just fire them. Uh, Ginger Hoskins, Chris Arsenal had just Kenan and Nike in the 90s. Then it's then in 2002, this man in Silverstone made Arsenal like Adidas, Silverstone, Gore deal. There's a new stadium.
Got the Emirates deal as well.
Okay, so it's got to be more than $2 billion though.
I thought you said that was Victor. What's his face?
Oh, Silverstone got the Emirates.
Yes.
I don't know what Silverstone was doing it.
Silverstone got the Emirates and he got the Adidas.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know. I don't even know what Silverstone was doing at Arsenal. To be fair, so
He was CEO, same as he is here.
he's not a CEO here, man.
Sorry, commercial director, same as he
There we
is
go.
here.
Alan Thompson, Keith Fletcher under Sir John Hall has been the best commercial officer we have ever had. He sold more Newcastle shirts in Scotland more than Man U, Celtic, Rangers. It had never been known in the 90s.
Freddie Fletcher, the ferret they used to call him.
Wow.
He was good. He was very, very good for us.
Okay. Yeah. Niall, but the main sponsorships were the big bucks are not been. Got rid of third kit training ground. That's stadium. Right, come on, Silverstone. Well, there you go.
And again, this gets back to the point I'm making about the APT. You know, all I can imagine is that they are waiting to see what happens in totality about these APT regulations. Because if they go out the window, then we'll see those deals done. It'd be very difficult to argue. For example, if we signed them now at whatever, 5, 6, 10 million pound a season, it would be very difficult then for when the regulations are changed, for us to change those deals from 5 million to 50 million and 6 million to 60 million. After that event, they'd be able to say, whoa, hang on, that cannot be right. You cannot go from 5 million to 50 million in a year. So that before they put them in, they're waiting to get them right. That's the only logical explanation I can think for why we haven't already got a kit sponsor, stadium sponsor, training ground sponsor, you name it sponsor. Because they're waiting until these APT regulations, which Man City have proven to be unlawful, are eventually thrown out.
Yeah. Ginger, serious. What Silverstone can do is go find what Arsenal have the Emirates deal and revisit Rwanda. Because you're downplaying people who are building our club. I'm not downplaying anything, man. It's actually said, I'm sure he's done a decent job. He didn't get us the big deals that we are happy with. He didn't get Adidas done. And then
he was in place when we got the Adidas deals. So
he got Red Bull. He got all these Quid and all those little things that probably all add up to $1 million maybe. And that's fine. Look, money is money at the end of the day. I'm not complaining. But you know, it is what it is. I don't know what you tell me. I can't throw a party. I can't change the title and thumbnail to Silverstone. Toon Legend. I can't do that. So I don't know what I'm going to say about it. Alan Thompson, spot on trolls. This why top four trophy argument goes out the window. Trophies any day of the week, says Alan Thompson. Niall, when we got Champions League, we should have been able to get more big sponsorships, in my opinion. Ah, well, I mean, we played Champions League under the final Castor year. I mean, we already had Adidas lined up. I mean, we've gotten the big deals. You can argue that is the money enough. At the time, the monies seemed everything. It seemed like it was the biggest deal ever. But then you compared yourself to other clubs, and maybe not so much. But also, it comes about Newcastle has to make that history. Newcastle has to go out there, and if we continue to make Champions League in Europe every year, then you can argue with that. I'm the one that said, for regardless if Salah is owned by PIF, if Aramco is sold by PIF, if all those people are owned by PIF, the deals have to make sense for them. They can't just say here's $1 billion and whatever just because you're Newcastle and we own you as well. No, it has to make sense for everybody financially. Companies will not go bankrupt just to help each other out. It makes zero sense business wise. So I'm sure they would.
The best I can find here because I would imagine that the very smallest one, the smallest sponsorship that he's been involved with is the Phoenix one, because they are just a local. I mean, they've got a store in Oxford Street as well, but the main store is Newcastle Phoenix, and Phoenix sponsorship of Newcastle United Football Club is part of a £40 million investment to transform its Newcastle flagship store. So it doesn't say there how much of that 40 million is the sponsorship, and you don't know if it's a 5 year or whatever, but it's multi-million. So you saying how much do they all add up to? It's just $1 million. It's way, each one of those will be worth way over $1 million.
Okay. Paul Thompson, volume is very low, chaps. Well, I know mine isn't, but you know whose is. So hopefully he'll get.
Well, yeah, you're the one that's funnied on with it.
Yeah, I go for 5 minutes. I couldn't get it done in 5 minutes, so I had to.
Well, so how
get, after this show, we're gonna get it.
You're the techno master.
James Stasher, why did CEO leave Arsenal? Well, that would be a good question to answer, but not really sure. I think let me actually go back. Let me see. So the Gunners signed a 300 million 5-year deal with kit supplier Adidas during their time in North London, before Silverton left in 22, and Venkatesham stood down earlier this year, citing his desire to pursue a new challenge. So there we go.
That old chestnut, a new challenge.
A new challenge. I mean, so whatever that means, that's what happens. All right, let's go. Let's move forward. We need to move forward. So I guess Emil Krafth is facing up to 8 weeks on the sidelines. This confidential report by Craig Hope can reveal 8 weeks on the side. That's 2 months, and man, that's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, we've talked about it last week as well, but and plus this week coming up, he's not, Byrne is not going to play. Krafth is not going to play. So certainly Newcastle right now facing a bit of a bump in the road as far as the defense is concerned. But I mean, Krafth wasn't a starter. He, so I mean, if Livermento's fine, there should be no problem there. If Trippier comes back at any point in time, then he should be good as well. So I mean, really, that side should be.
The only thing I would say about Krafth is when he's come in this season, he's been fantastic. He's done a great job. When Schär was injured, every game he played, he was outstanding.
Yeah.
Krafth was. Like say, right back, we've got Trips covering, and centre half. At a push, you could put Kelly over to right centre half. He did play right back a couple of times for Bournemouth. So not a real worry, I don't think.
Mm.
Better to have him in the squad, though, because, like we say, it's the squad. It's a squad game now with the amount of games that get played. If you do want to knock out your players.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He suffered a broken collarbone in training last week, and while there is hope that he could be back around Christmas, we played. The player has been told it could be the new year before he returns. We understand or he understands, Craig Hope, that the initial prognosis is 6 to 8 weeks out. He will be back running in 3 to 4 weeks, but he is certain to miss the next six fixtures at least. Six fixtures, man, that's 6 games. That's quite a bit. Um, well, I mean, it is what it is, to be fair. But we did mention Dan Burn, and I don't know, although they don't
Well,
play the same
Dan's
position,
missing
really.
on Monday for certain because he's
Yeah,
suspended.
well, we'll see. We'll see. Kraft will play, and he will do great. And but you know, we'll see. The manager will choose to put back Dan Burn back as usual, no matter how good Kraft. I mean,
Kelly.
Lloyd Kelly plays. So it's the same old, same old. So I mean, hopefully Lloyd Kelly will go out there and say, it is what it is. Could
Same
be
old,
my
same old. You mean we'll win again?
nah. Hopefully the luck continues, and
So it's luck now, is it?
no, no. I think we perform well, and I don't think, to be honest, Dan Burn has been lighting it up. He's playing at a 6 at maximum, and that's
Well,
been
in
enough.
your opinion.
That's been enough. But Kraft has been on, and he played amazing against Chelsea. Fast,
Yeah,
he's
but
big,
Kraft
he's
can't play
strong,
left
he
centre
can
back.
jump. I mean, really, really good stuff. So, but like I said, the best players don't play on this team, and we know that. And at this point, we should be accustomed to that. It is what it is.
You mean the players that you think are the best players?
The vast majority. I mean, the vast majority. When I speak with this just people, the vast majority back me up, and really, that's it.
And yet
Just,
somehow we just keep getting results.
yeah, we stopped for a while. I remember. We stopped for a while. We couldn't
Yeah, we
score.
stopped
We
for
we
a while
we
when
kept we
Longstaff
kept
wasn't in the
losing.
team.
Eesh, a miss along stuff. We've gotten results. Really, there's nothing to be proven on the pitch, on even on stats. Even on stats, the only stat
Yeah.
you're talking about is winning. Okay, but
Longstaff started the
the
first four, three
yeah,
wins and a draw.
yeah, that's fine.
He missed
So
the
did
next four,
so
two
did Pope.
draws,
So did
two
Pope. So
losses.
so did Pope. So did Pope. So I can say Pope is the one the reason we won those games.
Yeah, but Pope was
Uh,
in them all.
yeah, exactly.
Pope was in them all.
And we've lost with Longstaff as well many games, many times. And
But
so
overall,
no, overall. So
yeah,
overall, we win with Pope. I think we need to have Pope in there because Pope we
we're on
win.
loop here. But the best 11 players don't necessarily make the best team. Silences
No, no, I'm
poison.
looking at Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson here. I used to love Friday quiz nights and have seen quite a lot of them until last night when I clicked on it was members only. Yeah, man. Sometimes our shows go to members only. That's one of the perks of being a member. It's not a glitch. You're not screwed. I mean, you can become a member. You're faithful of the show. See, we put our time and our effort in doing these. And yesterday, in particular, trust me, it was mayhem before kickoff, and I was almost I was teed off. They threw my mood off because of the stuff that was going on in the background. So we put in a lot of effort, man, and support us for £2 a month and become a member. You can have access to a full catalog of our shows. So yes, you can enjoy it live at 10 p.m. UK, and if not, it will be a member to watch on video replay. Shout out to Chris Rodham in the chat as well. Says agreed. Who do you agree with? The Mighty Win or me? It'd be interesting to know there. Ian says putting the best players on the pitch doesn't necessarily make the best team, Chris. It does actually.
Exactly.
No, but it does though. It does.
But it
You put the best
doesn't.
players, but yeah, it does. I mean, like I said, we can get into this all the time. We can put Mbappe on the bench. We can put Vinicius Junior on the bench. We can put Valverde on the bench. I know these are players that you don't know because you only watch one team, but you put all these players on the bench, you will have the best bench in the world. You trust me, you will. Now, what about the 11 though? That play the most part. That's the problem. And look at this lady bird.
Well,
Get out of
Mbappe
here.
have decided that. Sorry,
Mbappe,
France have decided that they're a better team without Mbappe in.
yeah. Well, and that's how the Champs have been doing it the last since he won the World Cup. Steady downship. But
Steady
actually,
downhill, lad. Steady
it's
downhill with
but
Mbappe.
it's actually the Shams talked with Mbappe, and both decided that it was best for him not to get the call up because he's trying to focus on because these are numpty games that are being played right now at the moment. So that's what it's all about. And
You've got inside information on that.
no, you just gotta open up websites and read, man. It's pretty simple. But Kansas City Netflix fell massively. Yeah, that was unbelievable last night, man. It was crazy. Mighty Wayne don't know nothing about this, man. Yeah, but anyways, so that's what's going on with Kraft. It's tough, but it is what it is. He got hurt. I mean, we can't really dwell too much on that. Hopefully, he'll be back on time. But no matter how good he plays anyway, so it's really irrelevant. By the way, about Fabian Schär, it has been confirmed his desire to sign a new contract after confidential reveal last week from Craig Hope in the Daily Mail that early discussions had begun. Newcastle invoked an option to extend his deal by 12 months last year, meaning fresh negotiations are now needed. That is not expected to be an issue, and that Schär told Blue Sport in his native Switzerland this week, I feel super comfortable at Newcastle. I have been playing for years and I have a coach who backs me. Everything is right for me. I would love to stay, says Fabian Schär. He also continues saying, the club and coach know that what they have in me. Basically, a contract extension has always happened relatively quickly in recent years. The club wanted to keep me and I wanted to stay. That's why it has never been a big deal. There are more complicated cases than mine, says Fabian Schär, saying everything is unbelievable, happy. Basically, your world, everything
Kumbaya.
rainbows and roses, everybody holding
Kumbaya.
hands.
Rainbows and unicorns.
There you go, man. And everybody running through the tulips, holding hands.
Yep.
So there you go.
And trust me, it's a much better place to be than
Nah,
that
not really,
dark
man.
world that you inhabit.
Well, it's because you look like a clown, man. You got to come out here and talk, be objective instead of just saying everything is great. La 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 la
I
la
don't
la.
always say everything's
No,
great.
um,
When it's not, I say so. But when it is,
not really
I
though. Not really. No,
enjoy
no, you
every
don't. No, you
minute.
don't. But Fabian Schär, what do you think? I mean, Fabian Schär. I mean, we talked about it as well. I mean, I think he deserves another extension,
Yeah, I would
a
give him.
2 year.
Yeah,
You
I
said
mean,
you didn't want him to get a 2 year
at a
though.
pinch, I would give him 2 years on 100 or whatever. Because you're gonna get 5 million for him, aren't you? Even at 32, I think you're gonna get 5 million for him. He could. I think Fabian Schär's the sort of player who could go to an ambitious championship side and be there Brian Kilcline, be there Kevin Keegan. Raise them up, show the young ones at the club what it's all about, what you've got to do to succeed, etc., etc., etc. I really think it could be that kind of inspirational. If I was the owner of a club somewhere down there, and it ended up in a year's time that you could get somebody like Fab Share for 4 or 5 million, exactly the sort of player I'd be looking for.
Well, Niles says one
Top
year is
pro.
enough. I mean, I don't. 2 years should be good. I mean, I don't see really being a.
No, I would think you give me air anyway because we're going to need backup. Even if we buy a stellar right-sided centre back to replace him, we're still going to need backup.
Yeah.
And what about again? You'd be looking at the bench and saying, "Wow, we've got Share to come on."
Well, look at Mr. Joe Johnson says I don't have money to subscribe, unfortunately, and that £2 will put a microwave meal on the table. As much as I love the tune, putting food on my table is do or die for me. So gut
Quite
it, I
right,
will be.
Joseph. Quite right.
Well,
Yeah.
listen, man. Food and personal family stuff. That's obviously more important than any of this. So, you do what you need to do, my friend. And join us at 10 p.m. Man, join us at 10 p.m. Usually every night. Usually all the shows are live to the public. So yeah, man, join us and you'll be enjoying those. No worry, brother. Um, so hope everything is well and you get on your feet, mate. Shout out to you, Mr. Joe Johnson. I've seen Joe Johnson. Are you in the group chat, Joe?
I
Are you in
haven't,
the group?
don't think I've seen Joe Johnson in the group chat.
There's a Joe in there. There's a Joe. There's a few Joes. Um,
Because that's free. The group chat's free. Everybody join the group chat. Always interested in listening to other people's views and opinions.
yeah, the group chat as well. If you want to join, now where is the link? Let me see. We share it also when we are live on there. Let me uh, let me do this. Copy the link, and we shall post it. If you got WhatsApp, join right now the WhatsApp channel. I mean, it's just basically a group chat. You can mute it if you don't want to be disturbed all the time, and join in when you want to. But there you go. There's the link. You can join, and I'll see
Because
it,
there
and
will
I'll
be
approve you.
plenty pings.
Yeah, at certain times, especially on match days, it gets crazy. But anyways, so
Anyway,
yeah,
what
Fabian
else has
Schär.
Mr. Craig Hope got to tell us?
Where we going? Um, Luke Dixon. We brought this name up before. I think that was the Manchester United guy, wasn't he? Yeah, he was. Okay. So Newcastle were set to appoint a senior analyst for Manchester United, and he appeared on the team's victorious dressing room picture against Forest. Luke Dixon, a boyhood Newcastle fan, was made to wait by Manchester United before taking up his role as part of Eddie Howe's first team setup. And the 28-year-old, 28, wow, he's younger than me, man. And he's got a job like that already. Fucking hell, man. You know he's got to be getting paid like six figures at least. Um, Having completed his period of garden leave, has enjoyed the fine has enjoyed a fine start to life on Tyneside with back-to-back wins over Arsenal Forest since his November start date. So we should be in somebody there. But actually, scouting for scouts. Oh, we got a request to join the group chat. I will accept it right now. It's a 353 number, so let me know who you are, matey, and we shall welcome you. So
We can sort all that out after the.
yeah. Okay, so scouting for scouts, says Craig Hope. Newcastle's off-field recruitment drive, led by sporting director Paul Mitchell, continues to gather pace. The club are looking for a new under-21 assistant boss to work alongside
Steve Harper.
Dermot Dermot
Oh, yeah,
O'Carroll.
yeah, Diarmuid took over, yeah.
Dermot
Well, he's
O'Carroll,
just been appointed, hasn't he?
who arrived as a lead coach in September. However, more interestingly, original scouts to work in Anglia, in Anglia, not Anglia, Anglia and Scotland are also being sought. We reported last month how the club were rebuilding their efforts to identify teenagers who could be signed with a view to develop and sell or break into the first team. In the PSR world, there is an acceptance that using the academy as a production line for sellable assets is a necessity. The new
Necessary evil.
appointments will have a remit to identify talent between the ages of 12 to 18. All right, so we're looking for scouts, man. You wanna sign up?
Not for me. My days of standing on the touchline on a Saturday morning, freezing cold are over.
Come on, man. You gotta find new
No,
talent,
no,
man.
I'm built for comfort now, not speed.
Oh my goodness gracious, man. Target still on a paycheck. Well, he's certainly doing that. That's a fact.
He's not stealing a paycheck.
y- yeah, he is basically. I mean,
No, he's not.
technically.
Yeah, well, that's like saying everybody who doesn't get on on the pitch is stealing a paycheck. You've got to have them waiting for injuries, suspensions.
Well, he's
Oh,
already.
it's all about the squad these days. Squad.
Well, because he's not worth what he's getting paid though, so that's the problem. Chris Radam, he's the 5'3". That where are you from, man? 353 number. You're not from the UK, and you're not. Let me see. You must be from America somewhere. America is in the continent or the two continents, Americas. More likely North America though. I would say.
Well, no,
Tell me where you're from.
it'd be 1 plus 1, not plus 353.
No, not. See, again, ignorant people, man. I said North America continent is multiple countries in North America: United States, Mexico, Canada, and so on. Ignorant twat tells me North America is only the U.S. Unbelievable, man. This is the cocky, condescending world we live
Mexico
in.
is Central America.
And he's not even. No, it isn't. Are you kidding me, man? What is wrong with this guy? Mexico is Central America.
Correct.
Mighty Wayne, you don't make me expose you, man, on live TV, bro.
That's
Please.
one thing you could never do, Bunny lad.
Expose you. Where are you from, Chris?
From
Don't
Ireland.
ask him, Chris.
353 is Ireland.
353 is Ireland. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, that was off. I've actually never seen a European phone code with 3 numbers, though. I've never seen them, at least. Usually, from what I've seen, it's 2. Like the UK has 44, and well, the rest of the twats up there. What?
And what the rest are, I have
And
no idea.
and the rest of the twats up there. No, but I've had numbers like even Iceland, or not Iceland. Sorry, I've had a number from Norway.
Iceland has 3 numbers.
Norway has got 2 numbers, I believe. So but there you go. But welcome, Chris, mate. He's from Dublin. Hey, so you can tell us then if leprechauns are real or not, because everybody thinks leprechauns are real, that they live in trees, and they have me lucky charms. So tell us, man, are leprechauns real or not? So scouting for scouts, man, is that important?
Hey, look at that. Iceland for good old Ulfa there. Ireland 353, Iceland 354. How about that?
There you go. James Thatcher, tell this guy, man, Mexico is North America. He's crying. Exactly. It's unbelievable, this guy. This guy is man, crazy. All right, well, scouts, we're looking for scouts, so if you're available, go on out there and apply.
Right, come
Foxy
on
should be
then.
out
Master geographer here. Master geographer. What country is immediately south of Mexico? But let's go down the Central American Isthmus.
Well, you got Honduras, you got Panama.
Now, what's the order?
What?
Which country?
It depends on how you look at it, to be honest.
Which country is directly below Mexico?
Well, let me see.
Never mind looking at a map.
No, I'm not looking at a map. I haven't even typed anything. Well, I mean, you got actually Guatemala. That's one. Belize is on the left. No, on the right side. Well, it depends how you look at the map. But no, it's on the right side, Belize. And then you got El Salvador. You got Honduras. You got Nicaragua. You got Costa Rica, Panama, and then you get into South America. Don't get on to me on geography, man. What's wrong with you, man?
What about El Salvador? You missed that.
I said El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, Nicaragua, Panama. That's Central America.
Costa Rica.
Just because Mexico is huge, but that's where Mexico is the last North American country. If you look at it from the bottom part, there's 3 countries in North America: Mexico, the United States of America, and then you got Canada, who is huge, Canada. And then basically that's about it. I mean, you got Greenland on one side, I think, but that's not North America though. No. It's close. So there you go. That's that. Don't play with me, man. What's wrong with you? Trying to school me on geography, man.
That's one thing you'll not beat us on.
You're never gonna beat me on geography. Trust me. That's my thing. Joe Johnson, man. Listen, brother. You just keep the faith, man. Keep the faith. I know it's life is tough. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's a tough world we're living in, but keep the faith. Keep pushing, brother. Keep pushing, mate. Keep pushing. Kenzie, the Irish will need more than Lucky Charms to beat England tomorrow. Yeah. Which, by the way, you do have the watch along here. Gary will be doing that one on Football Uncensored. Football Uncensored. Which we still got to start throwing the link for you guys to subscribe to that one. A lot of you guys are not subscribed to Football Uncensored on YouTube. That's our sister channel, our second channel. We talk about Premier League in general. We do the England matches there. So Football Uncensored on YouTube. We got about 1,000 subs there. So we got to get more traction onto that one.
Yeah.
So please subscribe.
Incidentally, Kenzie's
Football
just saying
Uncensored.
that Ireland have got 2 players playing for England tomorrow. I know one of them, but I can't think of the second one. I know Rice
Yeah.
qualifies for
So
Ireland.
Chris
Who's
is
the second?
from
Who's the second
Gateshead.
Irish player we've got playing for England, Kenzie?
Grealish.
Grealish Irish.
Yeah, man. Grealish is a leprechaun, and Rice both. They both actually played for Ireland.
Well, there you go. You've taught me something.
I've been teaching you every day. You just don't choose not to listen, not to learn,
No,
and that's your problem.
Any day spent where
And
you don't learn something new, to me, is a wasted day.
it's a waste of time.
Life's all about learning.
So let me see, Kenzie. Oh yeah, we got read that one, Kenzie Hill. Well, yeah, do actually, Niall, you're Irish, aren't you? I think you told me you're Irish, maybe not.
The Annihilator.
The leprechauns, yeah, man, we need some leprechauns out there. Niall says they ain't real, man. No, I don't believe that. I think leprechauns are real, and
Well, they're real, all right. I told you about the leprechaun on my shoulder in the casino, didn't I?
yeah. We gotta get that because I get the Scottish and Irish accent mixed up. But I used to have these.
How'd you do that now?
I used to have the Arsenal when I was doing Premier League. I used to have Arsenal fans, and some of them were from Ireland, and so they do speak like that, kind of weird, but it's all really about the same, man. You guys speak all the same, man. All right. Well, listen. Where there's a will,
there's a way. There's relations.
Okay,
Where there's a will, there's relations.
I don't think that. I don't think that's the same, but there's a power or something like that. There's a will, there's a way.
No, but I'm saying where there's a will, there's relations. All fighting for it.
Yeah. There you go. Niall is Irish. Yeah, I think you're from Ireland as well, aren't you? Because I think you super chatted once, and your coins were your currency was euros, if I'm not mistaken. And no, not euros or something. Yeah, it was euros, right? It has to be.
Yeah.
So, and I thought, wait, if you're in England, man, why is it not pounds? But there you go. I thought it. So there we go. We got shout out to Gary in the chat. Says celebrating 6 months. Sorry I missed the show. No problem, mate. I hope all is well. Enjoy your time off. So yeah, euros. Where there's a will, there's an Asula. There you go. That's a good one, Kenzie.
Very good, Kenzie.
That's a good one right there. That's a good one. All right, so Callum Wilson. According to Craig Hope, it was interesting to see Wilson building his fitness in Qatar alongside Rooney Bardghji, the FC Copenhagen wonder kid once linked with Newcastle. The 18-year-old posted a video of the pair playing head tennis during a workout at the Aspire Academy in Doha. Wilson is set to return for the visit of West Ham United a week on Monday after overcoming back and hamstring issues, while Bardghji suffered a serious knee injury in May. Newcastle have watched the young Swede in recent years, but so have every other top club in Europe. Maybe Agent Wilson was dispatched with more than a simple remit to get fit. His fellow forward certainly seemed to be enjoying his company. A succession plan, perhaps, says Craig Hope. Well.
By the way, Gary, member for 6 months.
Yeah. We said that. Yeah, celebrating 6 months. I think that's how long we've been knowing each other, really. 6 months since we started being on the show.
Time flies.
There we go. There you go. Okay, so Callum Wilson. I mean, we're gonna get into this. Should we open this can of worm with you and your nonsensical way of thinking about Callum Wilson and your hope?
Will score 10 Premiership goals this season.
Well, he must
whether
teletransport
it's
himself.
for us or not is in the lap of the gods at the moment.
He will teletransport himself to before '92 then, because haven't been in a Premiership that long. So,
if he gets the games, he'll score the goals. No problem.
You think so?
Yep, I do think so. Nearest I've seen Alan Shearer.
And you hope that, and
When
I hope you,
fit.
I
Well,
hope you,
that's
I hope you're
that's the
muted. I
problem.
hope your
When
mic
fit.
was low at the time. Nobody heard you. What you just said there at the end, but we're gonna
What
overlook
I
that.
said at the end, in case you didn't hear me, was Callum Wilson is the best centre forward I've seen at Newcastle since Alan Shearer. For anybody who didn't hear that, when fit, and that's the
Man,
big proviso.
you dig yourself in these holes, man, that I try to keep you out of.
No,
That just
you don't need to
it's
keep me out
crazy,
of that
man.
hole. The guy is pure quality.
But he isn't though, man.
Well,
Pure
not when
quality. How
he's
can you say
he's
that when
not
somebody?
when he's not available.
Yeah, but he's never. That's part of his. That's part of his attributes. That's part of his being. That's part of him as a player not being available. So you can't just look aside from that. That's
Well, I
that's part
can.
of his. That's part of his makeup. That's him. He gets hurt all the time. That's what he does. So you got to account that when you make those assessments. You can't. You can't say that if Alan Shearer never got hurt. Never. So not the same players, and they haven't
Well,
accomplished the same thing.
he had a season out.
They haven't accomplished the same thing. No way. He could never. He could only dream. Callum Wilson to accomplish what Alan Shearer has accomplished.
No, it's never going to
So
happen.
what?
That doesn't alter the fact that when he's on the pitch, he's quality.
Man, the dude was on the pitch. He pulled a tit out, man. What are you talking about? When have you? When would you ever see Alan Shearer come out? He would die on the pitch before he come off with the tit pulled, strain, muscle,
Well,
tear. You know what I mean? Like,
I
come
agree with
on,
that
man.
as well.
It's uh, so you can't compare the
But
two,
if
man.
you're injured, you're injured. End of. I tell you what I tell you what he's not doing. Right? He's not swinging the lead. He's not pretending to be injured when he's not. When he's injured, he's injured. And if he's
Okay, that's
injured,
fine. I
there's
didn't.
nothing you can do about it.
But yeah, so that's why it's irrelevant to think on what he can do in the perfect world.
Well,
So
you
he
think
needs
it's
to be gone.
irrelevant. I don't think it's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant, man. No, who cares what you know? Hallen, I love Hallen. He's the greatest center forward in the world, and I just love him. And everything is great, and I think that
He is
it,
the greatest centre
yeah,
forward in the
yeah,
world right
he's
now.
the greatest in the world, and he's amazing, and he's all that. But when I'm talking about Newcastle, what the hell does that matter? That has nothing to do with Newcastle. He's not a Newcastle player. He can't play with Newcastle. He can't do none of that. It's the same thing you're talking about. You're talking about something in somebody that doesn't help the team, won't help the team, doesn't work. It he's never available.
Let's
A
just say
year,
what you're
but
saying.
he's never
Let's
available.
say
Like
what you're
it's not
saying
the
at the
first
end of the
time.
season.
It's not the second time. It's not the third time. It's not the fourth time. It's the 20th time that he's not available.
Yeah,
When are you going to learn,
missed more
man?
games than he started.
What?
He's now missed more games. In
Yeah.
his
So
time at Newcastle, he's
are you
missed
arguing my
more
point or your
games than
point?
what he started. But when
Look,
he
man.
plays, he scores.
But if the dude just can't stay fit,
More
why can't you
goals
move
per
on?
minute than your big hero, Haaland.
What did you say?
More goals per minute than Haaland.
Only Haaland plays all the minutes, so that's a
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
unfair, isn't it?
Agreed.
You try to use these stats to your favor, and it's laughable, man.
Obviously, I've tried
The
to
same
use them in my
the,
favour.
the same thing with saying Longstaff has all these winning records. Well, no shit. Tonali can never get a damn game, so how is he going to get any stats on his favor? It's impossible. It's like, and also saying, yeah, we don't know what Tonali can do in full 90 minutes, though. We know what Longstaff can do.
Let's
Well, how the
see
fuck are you gonna know what Tonali can do if he doesn't get the full minutes?
let's see what Tonali does after he's played 111 games for Newcastle.
You will never know because he's always on the bench.
Well, we'll see.
And by the way, how many games did you say?
Bench on Monday.
How many did you say? How many games?
111.
111. That's what Longstaff has played. I'm assuming.
No, that since Eddie arrived, we've played 111 games.
Okay, those 111 games. If Longstaff starts until 65 minutes, and those 111 when Tonali coming off the bench and playing 20 minutes, although there is the same amount of games, it's an unfair comparison because you cannot compare 20 minutes, 10 minutes to a full 60, 70 minutes of somebody else. Longstaff will have a longer opportunity to do something, which still doesn't happen, by the way, but you still have a longer opportunity. So it's unfair to put these all these stats together and lie to the American public, lie to the UK public. It's unfair, man. Stop lying to these people. You give these politician answers, bro. Gotta stop doing that. Callum Wilson, same better goal per minute than Haaland. What are you talking? You really think you're like the Democrats, man? You really think that people don't know better? Come on, man. People know Haaland. Anybody would take Haaland over Callum Wilson any day of the week. So why do you do? I'm a defender of Longstaff. I'm a defender of Callum Wilson. I'm on their side. See what you're doing? You're messing around, man. Why are you doing all that?
111 games. He started 69 and he hasn't started 42. The difference between the two is the equivalent of 19 points per season and goal difference going from plus 26 to minus 11. When he starts, we've won 53% of the games. When he doesn't start, we've only won 38% of the games. 2 goals for, 1.1 against when he starts, 1.3 for, 1.4 against when he doesn't. Dead simple.
Yeah, you're talking about wins, draws, and losses. You have not shown yet what he can do on the pitch.
Facts,
Prove it.
Facts.
Prove. No, they're not facts. He just happens
facts.
to be. What is he doing on the pitch? He's not even a defensive midfielder. You can't even say he is a CDM. He goes to the middle. He covers for everybody. He gets to the middle when
round and round. I don't know what he does. I haven't got a clue.
So let me tell you something. You shouldn't back somebody if you don't know how and what they're doing, because it makes you look like a moron, man.
No, well, I am a moron because I haven't got a clue what he does.
Yeah, but you can't.
All I know is that it works.
No, just because of that, just like that, it works. Yeah. No, that's not like that, man. It doesn't work like that, bro.
The facts are there, man.
What happened to your stat? Because you drifted away from Callum Wilson. What happened to the best ability is availability? What happened to that nonsense you were talking about?
I stand by that.
But how can you say that when you talk about Wilson like he's better than Haaland?
Because I'm saying only when he's fit, and he's never fit.
Okay, then so why do you want him on the team? Who cares? Let him go somewhere. Get another proper center forward. Which, by the way, Wilson right now at this point,
and I want him on the pitch.
Wilson coming back right now is only going to affect William Osula, and that's a travesty. That's a travesty.
Well, we'll see.
No, it's not. We'll see, because Eddie Howe already gets nervous when he sees a good player on the bench, so he just leaves him there. And then now that you see Callum Wilson, and he's going to say, "Whoa, Callum Wilson is back."
What possible reason would Eddie Howe have for doing anything which is going to have a detrimental effect on the team? What would be his possible reason?
No, but see that's the thing. I don't think that it's obvious that he wants the best for the team. I just think that
you think Eddie doesn't want the best for the team?
I do, yeah, I do think that. I do think that he does want the best for the team.
Right.
But unfortunately, I do think that he does rate Longstaff, and he does believe the stat that you're talking about, that all of a sudden he's on the pitch and they just boom, we win everything. Yeah, we haven't won a damn thing.
The reason he believes it is because it's fact.
No. And I do think, like Tim said, I believe back in the day when Tim did one of the twins, he said that he does. I think he rates Longstaff. He rates him,
yes,
and to a crazy level. And
when I say
the same thing.
I don't mean I don't rate him.
I
believe that Eddie does rate
him. And I think that Eddie Howe has issues and has 2 loyalty problems with players that have served him before. That has served him before, and Longstaff did do decent.
The only problem Eddie has is that he wants to win matches, and he has seen historically that when he starts Longstaff, he wins more matches than when he doesn't start them, and that's why he has.
I would expect
the loyalty.
I would expect, because nobody has told me yet, and I would expect that a manager that gets paid millions of dollars would be able to rationalize why a player is all of a sudden winning him games instead of just saying, "Let me just put him in there, and that way we win."
And
Because that is
maybe he can. I
bullshit.
can't.
Well, why can't he tell the public? Why can't he tell the public? You know what?
Well, he does
I've
tell the
I've I've
public.
I've gotten booed many times for changing long stuff to Tonali. By the way, those fans that you the other day told me that the fans, by the way, it's all social
But
media
by the way, it's not
because
just Longstaff.
no,
It's not
excuse
just
me, excuse
Tonali.
me. Excuse me. You before said it's all social media. The real fans in the stadium never question Eddie. Excuse me. He was booed multiple times when he was making substitutions. Those fans on the pitch made those
He's only
whistled
ever
and
been
booed.
booed for one substitution.
What are you talking about, man? He booed Longstaff in the Tonali exchange.
That's
They
the one.
booed him.
That's the one example of it.
Exactly.
Well, you're saying he's been booed
Okay.
multiple times. He hasn't.
He has been multiple times on, at least 2 times about Tonali and Longstaff because people
No, never.
were
Not
getting tired of it.
Once.
Man, we can see it on the day, watching the game. I didn't even remember one time until Gary pointed it out. They're booing the exchange. That was in an away match. So fans in the stadium are doing that. But we got sidelined to another discussion here.
It was
You
it.
know,
Was it the away match? It was the Chelsea away match.
that wasn't the only one. That wasn't
Was
the
the
only
only one.
No, man. And he
And
came.
that was
No,
when
actually, that wasn't the only one.
Immediately
Because
in
he
the press
came out.
conference
Yeah.
afterwards.
When he was asked, he came out and
he
begged
came
fans
out and
to
said,
do it
"Save the
after the
booze
game
till
and not
after
during the
90
game.
minutes."
Exactly. And you over here, we're talking about the fans can do whatever they want. You say that.
Absolutely, they can.
Okay, then. So fans were showing their frustration because they were tired of seeing the same rubbish week in and week out. Now we started winning. Amazing. Great. By the way, I have reasonable
Which
facts.
coincided with Longstaff being back in the team.
Yeah, and Tonali being on the also in the Chelsea match when we played the best game that we played, in my opinion. You can say the second half against Forest could be up to that, but against Chelsea in the cup at home, we played the best game in my opinion of the season. Against Arsenal, we had one shot on target. We scored perfect, unbelievable, great stuff.
Well, I actually think Brighton is the best we've played all season.
Nah,
And we got beat.
I don't.
But
I
that's
don't think
just
so.
because we couldn't finish our dinner.
I don't agree with that. I don't think we generated. They generated. They were more dangerous. And if it wasn't for Mitoma, actually, if it wasn't for Mitoma having that not being accurate, we would have lost by a long shot. By a long shot. So, you got to be critical, man. You got to analyze the game. You can't just say it is what it is. The stat is there. And you basically you never tell me why you think Longstaff is doing as far as stats.
Because I don't know.
No, not what you think watching the game, but stats. You can't even show me his stats, which is just basic numbers that somebody writes down. You can't even show me stats and compare to others and say this is what he done. Look at this, look at that. No, the other against Arsenal, he had 5 tackles, and we threw a party on this channel because he had 5
Brighton,
tackles.
we had 21 shots, 6 on target. To their 10 and 5. 21 shots, 6 on target. 60% possession, double the number of passes. With 9 corners to their 4. And we got beat 1-0. That's football.
You're talking about against Brighton?
Against Brighton, which I think is the best we've played all season.
We had, I believe, let me go back to that game.
I'm on it now. 21 shots, 6 on target.
Out of 20, how many did they have on target and how many total shots?
They had 10 shots, 5 on target.
Who's got a better percentage of shots on target?
Well, they were better. Yeah, absolutely. They were better finishing than we were.
So they play better, man. They play better.
No, we played
we didn't
better.
create. We didn't create enough chances. We didn't create enough chances. There are chances with Mitoma on the left. As soon as he came on the second pitch, we were scared shitless, man. Come on, Mighty, when you can
control that game from start
no,
to finish.
what? We didn't control a damn thing, man. Stop playing, man.
We'll agree to differ.
Okay, well that's fine. The Chelsea away match, obviously, we didn't do great. I think the Chelsea when he made those changes, we put Tonali in the middle. That was it. Even Lloyd Kelly starting over Burn. Amazing changes. Did great. I don't think we played as good as we did against Chelsea at home than we did against Arsenal. We didn't. We didn't play as good. We had a good opportunity. We got it right. Simple as that. But we didn't overwhelm our Arsenal. We didn't bring the house down, and we just happened to score one out of 5 possible goals that we could have scored. No, we didn't play as good as we did against Chelsea. And when we get against Forest, we can disagree. I thought the first half was somewhat, and actually Eddie Howe and Joelinton on the post-match thoughts. Eddie Howe telling you in the first half we were somewhat good, and in the second half we brought it home. Who played in the second half? As soon as Mr. Tonali came on the pitch, we were drawn and we won the game. You know, and I'm not saying that just based on Tonali's, like you say, Longstaff. You just put him on the pitch and somehow we're gonna win. No, Tonali was involved in the last 2 goals that helped us win the game. You know, so and I don't agree. I think Gary says the same thing. I don't agree with Ian either. Trouble is both Tonali and Bruno want to play in the same position, and that's why how one played. I don't agree with that. I don't agree they play the same position. By the way, I don't. I think Tonali is a center midfielder. I don't think Bruno is that. I think we've made Bruno do that, but I don't think that's what he likes to do. Bruno likes to be loose up front to create. He can be a 10 at times if you let him loose. So you can put him on the left or on the right, wherever, and let him be. Play ahead of Tonali, and Tonali sit back and start the attack or whatever. I don't think they're similar players. I've heard that here before, and I don't think I've ever said it, but I don't agree that they're similar players. I don't. So, you know, and based on previous roles that they have played before in their careers, is what I'm saying. I think that we just happened to have Bruno play in the middle because whatever, I don't know. And Tonali wasn't in the team, obviously, when he started doing that. So there you go. Now you got this Joelinton and Joe Willock situation.
Did you watch the Brazil-Venezuela game last night?
No, I didn't. And you didn't either, so.
Well, Bruno, for me, had a good game. But when I look at Bruno's stats, I thought I was looking at Longstaff stats.
How can you say he had a good game when you didn't watch the game?
I did watch the game.
Yeah, okay. By the way,
the reason I watched the game was because
Bruno was criticized heavily.
There was loads of chat in the forum saying how Bruno was having a stinker.
Well, not only that, Brazilian media thinks that.
Yeah, well, that was, I think Foxy put in the chat that the getting slated by the Brazil. I watched the game, and I thought he had a good game. However, if you look at the stats, he won 2 out of 4 ground duels, none out of 1 aerial duel. He lost possession 13 times. He was fouled once, fouled twice. No clearances, no blocked shots, no interceptions. Total tackles in the 81 minutes that he was on the pitch. 1.
Yeah. The thing about also you got to remember it's South American football. It's not the Premier League. This is grown men play in South America. So you're not going to be able to have the ball. You can't have the ball more than 3 seconds, or somebody will come in and the piranhas will bite your face off. So no, I'm being serious. You got to get rid of the ball quicker, meaning you're going to lose the ball a lot quicker. And you know it's shit housery. You play you play. It's easy to play in Premier League. So then you got Venezuela, who is all shit housery, and they're going. I mean, a draw that's good enough for them. Brazil always needs to win every damn game, and so it's a whole different thing. And Brazil has proper journalists and proper pundits and proper fan channels that actually go out there and talk about. They get right down to the bone when it comes to talking about a game. So they're not liking the performances. Brazil, the biggest national team in the history of football, so it's a whole different pressure. You know, they don't live in rainbows and roses like you, man. It's about football. The next day they got to go to work and go out there and fish at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. They got to go out there and do brick work. You know what I mean? They don't live in La La Land like you do, mate. It's football. Then they got to go to work. They come back. It's football, and it's real life. It's football. Is part of it.
That's exactly what life in Newcastle is.
So you know, it's not.
We're talking about the link between Newcastle and the fans up here. And that's exactly what it is up here.
It's not tulips and roses, man.
You talk football. You go to work, you talk football. You go to work, you watch football. You go to work, you talk football.
By the way, you know, there were links of Miguel Almirón. The confidential is over, by the way. You know, there's nothing else there. Heavy. Actually, I do have some information when it comes to South American. I'm well informed when it comes to South American stuff, and there's information about Miguel Almirón potentially going to River Plate. He is a River Plate fan, by the way. I've always known this. I just never told it. He is a River Plate fan. He has River Plate tatted in the back of on his back, the River Plate emblem. River Plate is the biggest club in South America. It's the Real Madrid of South America, basically, and they can pay Miguel Almirón what he gets paid right now at Newcastle. They can pay him that. He will be the highest paid player, but they could pay him. And South America will never compete when it comes to even Central America. They will never compete when it comes to currency and obviously all that. But
Says it all, doesn't it?
that's belong football. But
Says it all. River Plate, the biggest team in South America, and Mickey wants to stay at the tune. Tells you
no,
everything you need to know.
no, but you don't know that. Um, Actually, something you are right in that sense because I do have and I'm not ITK, but I used to run a River Plate fan channel with over 7,000 people. I do know journalists down there, and that's a fact. I'm not into the ITK bull BS, but I'm just telling you what they're relating. Says that Miguel is not comfortable with the minutes he's getting in England. He's not comfortable with that. The release clause is not what River Plate wants to pay. 10 million US dollars. 10 million. That's what they're saying. Don't know if it's true or not. But Miguel wants to stay in England to fight for it. To fight. I'm translating in Spanish here. To fight for it. Now you can assume a lot of things from that. That the guy. I mean, it's also a family thing. I mean, we tend to think it's only about the players. Living in South America, although he will be living in the base neighborhoods in Buenos Aires, still not the same as living in England. Much safer. You know what I mean? You got numpties laying down in the roads sometimes, but that's a lot far less dangerous than what could happen in Buenos Aires. It's a family thing. They might be comfortable. The kids are already there, so all of that we haven't thought about. Charlotte offered 18 million US dollars, and Newcastle said no. If River wants him, Newcastle will listen. Miguel doesn't do crazy things in his career. Like he doesn't just get up and move and get up and because somebody comes and asks for him, he doesn't make rush decisions. And all of that is coming from Daniel Ocampos, who is Miguel Almirón's representative agent with Radio La Red, which is a big radio station in Buenos Aires. So all of that, he's not comfortable with the minutes he's getting in England. His release clause of 10 million, according to this, is not something River Plate would like to do, and he wants to stay and fight for more minutes. So there you go. The agent will fly next week to speak with the director of football of Newcastle United.
But it just says, Nana. Keep your
No, that's not what he's saying though.
I'm happy.
But see, that's the thing. You live in tulips and rainbows and roses. Man, you in the Lucky Charms and the Leprechauns, man. Live in real life. This is real life, bro. Real life. And you should give your honest answer instead of funning around. Why do we want Almiron if he's not performing? By the way, he had an amazing game with Paraguay. Let's be fair. Yesterday, that you didn't watch, but yes, he did. He did have a good game. That game I watched. But the thing is, he doesn't play like that though. I mean, and by the way, in Paraguay, he's a 10. He's the best. He's the most creative player on the pitch. So now, do you want to give us your objective take, or do you just want to?
I was a staunch proponent of Almiron. I thought people didn't realise because the figures weren't there in terms of assists and all that. I still thought he was worth his place on the team for the work he does and for the outlet creation with his speed on the right. But the last few times he's played, you've still seen the work rate, but No, he's lost it for me now.
Well, do you think how much would you be comfortable accepting?
Well, 6 months ago it would have been. I wouldn't let him go for less than 25, but I think I would almost take anything I could get now. I would definitely take 10.
Well, a river play
But again,
is
everybody's saying that we sell players far too cheap.
who's saying that? I don't. We don't sell players at all, so I don't. I've never heard anybody saying that.
No, it's a common thread that Newcastle have been bad sellers.
Well, throughout history, yeah, but I'm talking
Yeah,
about now, man. We can't be looking
No,
at history.
now as well. Who was sold recently?
Nobody.
Decent money.
Well, actually, Minte and Anderson.
You could argue Chris Wood.
Minte and Anderson, that's good money, man. What are you talking about?
Well, Anderson wasn't really good money.
But Anderson didn't prove anything.
Everybody says 35 million, but we paid 27 million for Blackademos. So essentially we got.
Well, yeah, but that's a different conversation, though. That's a different conversation. They did that. It's not really of what we got paid from Anderson and what Anderson's worth. Anderson had done nothing in the Premier League to say any club, much less Forest, pay more than what they. I think he must be one of their highest fees ever.
Yeah, on paper.
Well, that's fine, but I mean, then
27 million of us for Blackademos.
Well, I mean, but that's kind of the way it works. I mean,
it was just a paper transfer, so that both clubs could satisfy FFP.
Yeah,
because the money went into last
year. Well, that's fine. At the end of the day, he still will go down in the books saying that
you could argue Minty was a good deal. We paid 7. He never kicked the ball, and we got 35 for him.
Yeah.
So that was a great deal. But we didn't really want to sell him.
River Plate doesn't want to play 10 million. So would you take 8 million for Miggy? Well, you say anything, so.
Well, that's $8 million he's saying. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, 6 million quid. Nah.
Well, but here's the thing, though. That's my always, and I bring this up with the Longstaff 10-year renewal you want to give them, and everybody else that this the contract.
I don't want to give Longstaff 10-year renewal.
I always get into this contract.
You just make things up all the time.
Hold on, I want to get into these contract things. I always say this: for what? Renew the contract for what? What is the purpose? What is the purpose for Almirón? Do we want to keep him, or do we want? Is he sellable, or isn't he sellable? Are we going to use him, or are we not going to use him? Is he part of the plans or not?
I wouldn't give Miggy a contract because I'm not bothered about losing him now. Well, would have been 6 months ago, but I'm not now. So I wouldn't bother about giving him. Longstaff, 27-year-old. I think he's worth 30 million anybody's money, and so anything we pay him that isn't going to cost us 30 million.
Not a single club will pay you 30 for Longstaff, man. Stop dreaming, man.
There's lots of clubs.
And here's the thing: nobody's wanted him. So what makes you think they're going to want him now?
Well, how do you know nobody's wanting him?
Nobody's came for him.
He's not up for sale.
It's not about being up for sale. When you're a good player, they come for you regardless. What are you talking about, man? Stop believing in this. Is not the 20s, man. Stop. It's people just got, when they want a player, they come and say, how much is he worth? How much is you selling him for? Here's a negotiation. We start doing it. We start negotiating.
And that all happens in the summer.
It's not just about, well, nobody came in the summer for Longstaff.
He wasn't for sale in the summer.
It's not, for fuck's sake, man. It's crazy how you don't understand how football works. If somebody wants him, they will say, Newcastle, how much for Longstaff? And you start negotiating from then.
And by all accounts, Leeds and Leicester did.
Nah, go on somewhere, man. Leicester and Leeds never. They was just playing rumors, man. Stop playing, man. Why do you lie to the man? You need to stop lying to the English folks, man.
I'm not lying.
You're not gonna be you're not gonna catch asylum here.
Widely reported.
They were rumored. Nobody came in for Longstaff, man.
No, because Eddie said he's not going anywhere.
Just crazy. What is the purpose of Longstaff?
Once everybody knows he's not for sale, there's nobody going to bother coming in for him.
You think that Longstaff, he had suitors to just go out there and make them a great team? Man, that is crazy, man. It is the 20s, by the way, Kenzie. You're right. It is the 20s, not the 1920s where he lives, where all of a sudden a player has a contract. Oh my God, untouchable, unsellable. Fucking hell, man. And this fool, we've seen worse things happen. But we've seen damn
When
Figo go to
when the manager
Real Madrid.
when the manager turns round and says he's not going anywhere, he's not going anywhere.
Do you think that Eddie Howe would have sold Anderson if he had an offer for Longstaff? Do you really think he would have done that? Look at me in the face and answer.
Huh?
You think he?
I say rates Longstaff.
Well, that's a problem. I do kind of agree with that, which is sad. But do you think you really believe that he would have sold Anderson instead of Longstaff, having the chance to sell Longstaff?
Yes.
Fucking hell, man. That is unbelievable.
Reluctantly, but in order to comply
You
with
know,
FFP,
you know what's crazy? Either or is scary. Either if it's true, if it isn't, it's scary as hell, man.
Or might it just be that Eddie Howe knows more about football than you or I do?
Yeah.
Could that just be a possibility? Do you think
that could be that?
Yeah,
You know what? You're right.
That's the possibility.
That could be a possibility. That could be a
rather
possibility.
Than you
just
know
as
better than Eddie Howe.
no. That is a possibility. Just as the possibility is Anderson being the player of the month for Nottingham Forest, and Longstaff could only dream to be the player of the month for Newcastle United when it comes to the Premier League awards. I know that you want everybody to get paid all the money in the world because they get the Newcastle Player of the Year award, something that we give to ourselves, which couldn't be more nepotism than anything. But we give Longstaff Player of the Year award. He wants him to have the best contract. That's how he wants things to rule. But Anderson, best player of the month for Forest, one of the best signings for Forest.
When have I ever said Longstaff should be the highest paid player?
You have said a few weeks ago that if we vote Player of the Year, an award that Newcastle United gives Newcastle United players, they should they should get a new contract. You said that.
Forget about it being the club. And by the way, the club award is voted for by all the other players. So all the other players reckoned that Gordon was the Player of the Year. The Northeast sports writers,
which I do agree with that, by the way.
The Northeast sports writers all agreed that Gordon was Player of the
Year.
Yeah,
on that we agree.
There's no doubt about it. It's nothing to do with
on Gordon. Yeah,
Gordon was the Player of the Year.
Yeah, we're not disagreeing on Gordon. Now that award, to me, as much as we agree that Gordon was the best Player of the Year that season, doesn't mean that you should get a new contract in the highest paid player. Because that means you're gonna every year now. Lewis Hall is gonna be that one. You watch my awards,
right? Okay.
Lewis Hall. So now Lewis Hall is gonna get 180.
I'm not sure. No,
yeah, we're gonna be broke, man.
Don't get the same money as forwards do.
It doesn't matter. Lewis Hall says, "I won the Player of the Year award for Newcastle.
No.
I won the Player of the Year for Newcastle. I won the best contract. I'm an England international. I don't care about none of that left back, right back, center forward thing."
He certainly should be on more than 40 grand a week that he's on now.
Come on, man. Colton says, if Longstaff wins us the cup, then you'll be right win. Here's the thing, though. That's the point. We say if Longstaff wins us the game. Longstaff wins us the games we can. He is the reason why we won the game against Arsenal. We beat Chelsea because of Longstaff. We beat Forest because of Longstaff. If I'm Alexander Isak, if I'm Gordon, I'm telling Newcastle, I want you to get these fan channels banned from YouTube, man. Copyright the shit out of them because I'm here for what?
It may be that Isak and Gordon also both know what effect he has on the team and how they miss him when he's not there. How about that?
Yeah. Joelinton the other day, when Sandro came on, it was much easier. We won the game. Helped us win the.
Where's that quote? I've never heard that quote.
It's on the YouTube channel. You can go out there and watch it, rewatch it. You go out there and rewatch it.
Go on, then
you
tell me where that
clearly mentions Tonali and all that. But look, we can keep going. I don't know if actually I wanted to bring this up because you've been wanting to bring it up and you wanted to make this a 10-hour show, and I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think we're gonna work that out, but. Wanted to bring this because I've seen this before, actually. I've seen this before you brought it up, to be fair. Didn't think anything of it. Actually saw the comments and people were going at the league, at the FA, and etc. But now the Sun reporting this, and it looks to be real. It looks to be real. that it's not Newcastle United specific, but it does involve Newcastle United nonetheless. So let's get right onto it. Dad, 29 years of age, jailed for selling what they call dodgy fire sticks. Don't know what that is. Streaming Premier League games. No, streaming Premier League says he was helping the poor like Robin Hood. So explain to me what he's doing, man. You're English. You know about this stuff.
Well, apparently
Apparently.
there are these. You can buy an Amazon Fire Stick, apparently, and you can get certain individuals who load them up with various apps. Predominantly, these apps can get live streams from foreign football channels, from foreign sources. Some of that content apparently is football matches, and apparently people get paid for loading these fire sticks up. And what that does effectively, it enables people in the United Kingdom to watch live football even on a Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock when there's a curfew on Premiership football in the United Kingdom. So I've got no idea how they do it, but apparently you can plug one of these fire sticks into your television and you can watch Newcastle, for example, playing live matches every time they have a game.
So they're basically
apparently there's a lot of people doing this.
So basically, they just stream the games when they shouldn't. I guess they're not supposed to do that.
As far as I'm concerned, the reason a lot of people do this is because there is no legitimate way for them. It's not as though they could pay for to watch that through a legitimate channel, through Sky or somebody like that, or through the club, and be legally entitled to watch these matches. So, because they can't do it legally, and that there's still a lot of court cases to happen to say that it's illegal.
Well, it is illegal. You can't.
But I think the illegality is the loading of the fire sticks or something, and I don't know how that works.
Well, first of all, you can't jailbreak fire sticks because they belong to Amazon. And once you jailbreak them, you break their rules basically by doing that alone. Now, the Premier League.
You can load any apps you want onto a fire stick.
I know, but there's a process also of breaking certain things. I'm not talking about this in particular because I have no clue. But there are other apps like different apps for different services. You have to jailbreak the Fire Stick, which means what you have to do something to it. The Amazon doesn't authorize or whatever to download apps that are not under their realm of apps. This is beyond football, so that's Amazon on one thing. Now the Premier League, they do stream the games in the United States to everybody. Yep, so they are streaming. They are streaming the game.
Everybody, everywhere else in the world, can watch live Premier League games whenever they're on. Every single one of them. Whereas in the UK, you're not allowed to. You can't pay for it.
Which is stupidity, to be fair, because
stupidity, exactly.
But
it refers to what I was saying on Wednesday, was it? That the revenue that clubs could generate from selling, like they do in the NFL, sell a Patriot season ticket for 200 quid a year or whatever, and that entitles you to watch Patriot TV and see all the games. And every Premiership club could do the same. And why they don't?
Well, I mean, I almost feel like
these archaic 3 p.m. rules.
Well,
and it's not a cartel, and the arrangement which the Premier League currently have with the big broadcasters.
Well, like James Stations,
that currently is £5 billion a season. So what I'm saying is, if you took your 20 Premiership clubs and said, right, you can have a Premiership app that gets you every single live game, how much will you pay for that a season? And if they said, let's say, just use a figure out the sky, 200 quid. Let's quickly do some sums. So we'll go 5 billion, which is 5, divided by 200 equals 25 million. So are you not telling me there's 25 million households in England that would pay? And by the way, this is without you. They could argue that if you're a pub or a club, you've got to pay 500. That they couldn't get 25 million. And this is just in the UK, by the way. Just in the UK, 25 million people prepared to pay 200 quid a month, to 200 quid a year. Easily they would do it, easily, and more perhaps. Man United might be able to charge 250 for theirs. Ipswich would be able to charge 150 for theirs, whatever. But if you're an Ipswich fan, you're just as committed as a Man United fan, so you would pay whatever the going rate was. Not as many of them, so Ipswich wouldn't get as much money, maybe.
Well, the thing about
that's right.
is,
That's the way it should be. The bigger the fan base, the more money they should be generating.
Now, the thing you're saying that every club should be in charge of their own.
Well, there should be a percentage of it. There should be, as there is now. Every team gets 100 million, and after
every
that,
team
it's
don't get
to do
100
with
million.
how many times you're on the telly and all that sort of stuff. Well, it would be the same. Every team gets 100 million, and then the more apps that are attributed to your club, the more money you get. But I'm saying they could blow that figure out the water, because they also, out of that 5 billion package that they've got at the minute, 1 billion of it comes from abroad. So that's, from beIN and from NBS and Peacock. They're still going to get all of that separately from the UK.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with it with the UK. They get a cut anyway.
So what I'm saying is they're missing a trick. And to start sending people to jail for providing a service that millions of people want.
Yeah, I understand that, but still illegal though. I mean, you can't. You can say they should fix it. I understand, and people will always gravitate to those services anyway.
Of course, and what happens when you make something illegal, and when you make something, the price just goes up and goes up.
Yeah.
And who does that extra money go to? The villains.
Yeah. I think that they should get rid of that 3 o'clock rule, whatever, because it doesn't help anybody, not even the small teams, because nobody gives a shit. They're still going to want to watch their clubs.
Listen, if you support Accrington and Stanley, you're still going to go and watch the Accrington and Stanley.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It simply makes no sense. It makes no sense that you're going to watch another team just because they're not showing your team on TV. It makes zero sense. And in this world and day and age, it's impossible. And you would assume they already catch on, to be fair, but they haven't. And some say that even the Sky Sports memberships don't stream every home game, which is crazy.
Some say what? Sorry.
Some say that the Sky Sports membership don't stream every game.
No, they don't. Not live.
So I don't know what the BBC deal is. What did the BBC do?
The BBC.
People talking about the BBC.
Highlights, much of the day highlights.
No, people talking about they have to pay for the BBC or something like that.
Yeah, the BBC have to pay as well for the highlights package, as opposed to the live stream. The BBC don't get any games live. Prime get a few. Amazon pay for a few live now.
TNT.
Peacock pay for the full year's package.
Well, Peacock is they are owned by NBC, so
but they're
gonna.
They've got the North American rights for the Premier League, and so what I'm saying is that instead of prosecuting people, change the practice. Get everybody
Well,
signed up. Get everybody signed up to
listen, man.
and by the way, I'm talking about here directly to the Premier League, so you don't need a middleman. The money is going directly from your bank account to the Premier League.
Yeah, they should definitely make something about it. This guy is going to go to jail for 3 years, man. I actually knew of somebody that he had to pay millions because they were streaming the Premier League games on the website. Big one, huge. And they had to pay. They made million, but there's the thing though. Because you got to look at it from everybody's perspective. Yes, they should change those rules. However, they're still
was it Hesgool you're talking about?
maybe so, but it was big. It's a big thing, so maybe it was.
Back in the day, before the Fire Stick phenomenon hit, you could watch all the live games on Hesgool, and then they got done millions.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Because that was a website that you had to get up on your computer.
And you had to pay and everything. But look.
No, you didn't pay. It was all paid for by advertising.
Yeah. Well, okay. But he received money. He made money off, or they made money off.
Well, he would make money from the advertising.
My point is that, yes, they should find a solution for it. That doesn't make, those images are still owned. It's owned by the Premier League. So it's as much as I like to help the man that's helping and is providing images, they're making money off something that's not theirs. You see what I'm saying? It's the bottom line. So now, what do I think? I mean, I don't even know what the punishment thing is, to be fair, which is 3 years, man. Going to prison.
The latest
that's crazy, man. Yeah, that's the 3 years in jail, man. It's crazy. It's a touchy subject, to be fair. I mean, these people are certainly helping the low income people or regular people, to be fair, that can't pay the crazy numbers. So definitely the Premier League should look at that and say, look, man, we're screwing people over. We can probably make all this money ourselves anyway.
Exactly. That's exactly the point I'm making.
Unless they're really Robin Hood and saying that.
What, if they did, Sky would go broke because it's the Premier League, which has kept Sky afloat for so many years.
Yeah, but Sky should. But even if you want to keep it just with Sky, Sky can do, okay, this is the membership. You pay this amount a year, and we stream all your games for you. Well, I mean, Sky could do that.
But if I'm the Premier League, I'm saying, why do we need Sky now? In this, we didn't have nobody had all this streaming and computers back in the day when Sky originally signed that deal. It's grown exponentially, IT, and you literally, the Premier League do not need Sky now.
Technically, you're right. They wouldn't go broke, though. Let's be fair. They got all the stuff. They got news and everything else, but they would lose a lot of money. But there's a reason why they're in it. These people are not stupid either, man. We can't just say that these people are ignorant and we're geniuses and we should do that. Yeah, we could say that they could make money of themselves without Sky, but I'm sure there's got to be something in there that Sky's doing.
I think it was 1990 that I got Sky, and I had the full package. That was the movies, everything they did, and Sky Sports. Everything they did, I got. And in 1988, it was a stupid, crazy amount. But I still paid it because I wanted the Premier League. It was £37 a month back then. And £37 then was a lot of money. But I had the full package. Anyway, as time's progressed, if you want the full package now, you're talking more than £100 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking as much as I spend on my groceries in a month.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's stupid. And similarly, at the time, I was on the committee of my club, and so we wanted the Sky package in at the club so we could show the games. And the commercial deal for that at the time, going back to the late 80s, early 90s, it was about 200 quid a month, which was a fortune for us. Where we're going to get 200 quid from? And you just hope that the fact that you're showing the match live will drag people into the bar to watch the match, and you make your money over the bar. And so it happened. We did. Every match, the bar was chocker, especially when Newcastle were playing. And so it was worthwhile. But that fee now has gone up to £2,000. If you want to cover every match now on BT and Sky, it's £2,000 a month
for a regular Joe.
No, for a club or a pub.
For a pub, yeah, for a pub. And yeah, I was want to bring that up. You know, pubs do pay a lot of money for that, which is, I mean, yeah,
You know,
they do make money.
You have to do the balance now. If we didn't have it,
it's basically
would it cost us that in partakings? And a lot of them have kicked it out.
It's crazy how kind of subjugated people have been to this system, because you know, you could argue, to be fair, and you can argue the other way, the way it is, but you can argue that bars are pubs, man. Just people go and drink, and you know, why couldn't they show the match without paying? Without paying, I mean, just, unless they're,
I've got no objection to them charging a fee for it, because as you say, they are having to produce the content, they are having to provide the cameras and all the infrastructure to go with it, so they're entitled to be paid. But with them having the monopoly, which is what Sky have got, a monopoly, because they've grown so much that nobody now can, other than foreign companies like beIN, like TNT, they can afford to come in, but Sky are not really bothered about them because they're not in the UK. But I reckon if Peacock, for example, if Peacock could get exclusive rights to the Premier League, I reckon Peacock would pay fucking 100 million a year if they could have the worldwide rights.
You got to remember the deal
and then we would be able to subscribe to Peacock from the UK.
Yeah, but the deal with Peacock is just a little
well,
company.
NBC, whatever.
NBC owns Peacock, and NBC has the deal rights with them, with the Premier League, and then they say, they put in the contract, Peacock will get some games because we're trying to. That's our second website. We're trying to grow it, and that's why they do that. But
no, Peacock get all the games.
Not all. Not all. They do get all the games on replay, but no, some games are on Peacock, some games are on USA Network, and so on. Like, it switches every now and then. For the vast majority of times, the most important games will be on NBC live. They have done it where they've had like a Liverpool Man United on Peacock to like get people in, but it's not every game on Peacock. No, it's some aren't. Like for me, I had to switch every week. I have to look, where is it going to be, on Peacock or on USA Network, which is owned by NBC. You know, either or. Every week I have to look who's going to be streaming it. So, yeah.
But all I'm saying is that there's no way should anybody be going to jail. For enabling.
But not only that, man.
Facilitating English fans to watch English football.
Well, and that to me is the biggest thing, is that, you know, this is ultimately an English league, so English people should have. It almost feels wrong that everybody else in the U.S. can watch whatever.
Exactly, and there's the word wrong. It's wrong.
But it's not only.
I can go on holiday to Spain and watch a live English game at 3:30, and I can't do it in the UK.
But it's not only, by the way, that this monopoly, this way of doing things is not just. Probably the biggest part is the game, but it's not just the game. We just talked about it. This confidential that we're supposed to talk about today of Craig Hope, I can go to the Daily Mail and look it up. You can't. You have to pay for it. So it's not this. It's the same model being used on different platforms. To me, it makes no sense. If you're going to charge people for it, you should charge everybody for it. Why? Why the daily? What makes other countries? Why would if it be free? The Daily Mail would give this confidentials for free to everybody else in the world, other than the UK. It just makes zero sense to me. If you want to make money off it, make money off of it. What's the point? You know what I mean?
What I'm saying is, I would gladly pay whatever. Bear in mind, I'm going to be at half the games myself anyway. I would pay. Let's see. I would even pay 200 quid a year for an away TV season ticket for Newcastle, so that I can guarantee to watch every away game that Newcastle play. And I'm sure there's 100,000 Lakers who would do the same.
Yeah, no, I think
So there's
they would.
200 million Newcastle get straight away.
I mean, look, if the Premier League says they have an app, if they create a streaming app,
We've got we had the show about the stadium size, right?
yeah,
And everybody's telling me I'm stupid when I said that we wouldn't sell out 80,000 every week. Everybody says I'm stupid. We've got 100,000. We've got 200,000
yeah.
who would fill it up. Whatever. Well, if you've got 200,000 who would fill it up, you've got 200,000 with season tickets, by the way. You've got 200,000 who would pay, let's say, 100 quid for an away TV season ticket. And if that's the case, that's how much Newcastle alone could make. Now you can increase that by whatever you think. Man United's fan base is bigger, and Arsenal's fan base is bigger, and Liverpool's fan base is bigger. They would be making that much more as well. So I can't see the logic in stopping it happening and sending people to jail for enabling it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Well, we will see what happens from this, of course. Yeah, this guy jailed for 3 years and 4 months, man. Really confirmed by the Premier League. Twats. I'm sure they were salivating when they were saying this. But
That's at the same time that we're letting bloody rapists and violent criminals out of the jails because we haven't got enough cell space.
There you go.
Stupid, man.
I agree with that.
But that's politics. We'll not get into that.
We'll see what happens with this. Hopefully, it gets better. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't know if any Sky's going anywhere though. They must have some. They must have. It's like Longstaff. They must have something on. They say they must have something on Eddie. Well, Sky Sports must have something on the Premier League, man.
What Longstaff's got on Eddie is his record. When I play, we win 53% of the games, and when I don't, we only win 38%. So that's what he's got on it.
We don't have time to keep arguing with this, man. It's just sense versus nonsensical. So there you go. People already voted, man. Anyway,
opinion.
And by the way,
fact.
Those twats that went and robbed Joelinton, man, you're supposed to be Geordie.
Yeah, let's talk about that as well.
You're supposed to be fucking Geordies,
right?
Unless they came from another place.
The money that J7's on. Let's just talk this through sensibly. Me and Gary were talking about this in the green room one day, and we didn't get a chance to get round to it because you told us about this finish early.
Go on.
But anyway,
hold on. First of all, Geordie Games, thank you, Geordie Game, for becoming a member. Thank you so much, matey.
How much would it cost?
Welcome, Geordie Games.
How much would it cost J7 when he knows that him and his family are going to be out the house to get a security firm in, a reputable security firm in, who would have one of their vans and two of their men stationed at his house 24 hours a day for the length of time he's away?
It would cost him a lot of money, but why should he have to live like that?
Wait a minute. So yeah, it would cost him a lot of money. I worked it out. If you reckon, go stupid, say £200 an hour for 24 hours, that's $5,000. And if he's away for 10 days, it's going to cost him 50 grand. What's 50 grand to him? And most of the time, we're just talking about when he's been away for a couple of days. I wouldn't know what I wouldn't like to know what his insurance premium is now if he keeps on getting robbed.
Well, I will tell you, but see the thing. Number one, he doesn't. I can almost guarantee you because maybe because I think what I would do, When I go to Newcastle, buddy, don't think of robbing me because you're not gonna get nothing but a pencil and maybe my phone and a microphone, because I don't carry cash. I don't do none of that stuff. So when you got money like this, Joelinton is a millionaire and everybody else, so they make a lot of money. You think they got how much does he get paid now? 100 and what? 140?
150.
Do you think he got 150 every week? He comes home with a bag and puts it in his house. Don't work like that. Now, yes, he might have some jewelry. He might have some stuff. Stop being idiots, man. Stop being idiots. Stop robbing people. Go out there and get a damn job if you
Yeah,
want
well,
money.
that.
You twats, man.
Now who's talking fairies and unicorns?
You stupid twats, man. Don't do nothing for. Just go out there and lurking and robbing
Yeah,
people.
but there's always going to be lurkers and robbers.
There's
So
always going to
what
be.
you
Yeah,
do
you're right.
is what it is. You prevent them lurking and robbing by getting
Yeah,
some
but
proper security.
yeah, but you're not going to hire somebody that to 10 dudes standing outside your house. Like that's no life, man. You can't live like that. You know what I mean? But
Only when he's not there, when the rest of the family aren't there.
but
That's when they get robbed, when they're empty.
well, thank goodness, because if not, that would be things could get a lot out of hand. You know,
Yeah,
and
but they wouldn't, because by and large, criminals are cowards.
the thing though, man, is with that, it's not the first one. Other people have been robbed as well in London. You've seen players get robbed
Yeah,
all the time.
it's been, Stevie Gerrard used to get robbed every time he went on a. And again, I turned around and said, well, get some security there.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science, surely.
Well, Joelinton does. I remember the first time he got robbed. He said he saw it on his phone, so he does have Ring, I think, based on the previous
Wow.
robberies. But I mean, you can still have a proper security system to where somebody opens the door and everything goes. We call the cops. Even Ring, they can call the cops.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can call
Or
it. You know,
you can get all of these with security firms who guarantee, 20-minute response and all this sort of stuff.
exactly. Get all the highest top security, and as soon as something goes off, cops are on site, and even some alarms are in the beginning. Because I know this. Because trust me, my house is a bunker, man. You cannot. You come over here in Mighty Win. Come over here to my house at night, man. And see what happens. Man, you go. My dog is the first line of defense outside. Big, 200-pound German Shepherd from Germany, East Germany, by the way. And it's so you get all that. There's some security systems that when they trigger it, it doesn't do anything, but it's already alerting everybody else. So I mean, I don't know if he has all that, but he's gonna have to. I mean, he's from Brazil, man. Come on, man. You can't be trusting people. We're South Americans, man. We don't trust nobody. That's why we're skeptical, man. We get right down to the bone when people come out with these numpty stories. Longstaff is the great warrior. No, where are the facts? The facts. We get right to the bone. We get right to the bone, old man.
Showing you
Come
the
on,
facts,
man.
and you choose not to ignore
No,
them.
man.
You
Those aren't
put
facts.
your
Those are
opinion
sentiments.
above the fact.
Those are sentiments. Those are
No, they are
wishful
facts.
thinking.
That's what's
Sentiments, man.
actually happened
Those
in
lying
games.
to the people out there, man, and just using these facts to your advantage when it's clearly not happening. Jordy Games, thank you so much for becoming a member. You can enjoy all shows on demand that we do. So you can go back watch the American Mags last night that was live at 2 a.m. If you're sleepy at 2 a.m., which most people are, you
Insomniac
can go watch.
Anonymous.
Exactly. They did a cool show last night about keeper toss.
Keep sellout by.
So go and watch that one if you can. But anyways, we gotta get going. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys, all of you tuning in. Thank you so much for your kind support. And it's been great. Gated communities usually have security. Yeah. What about the gated community? Do they live in gated communities? I don't
No.
think I've seen that.
No.
Well, even dogs have guns in the U.S. Well, to get a dog, man. I'm telling you, man, you better get it right, man. I'm just saying. Now, do you get in
That
in
was
the
the
in,
one where
in
Alan Shearer went to. He was commentating on a game in Liverpool. So he went to Liverpool and he parked his car in the side streets. And this little little scouser come up and said, "Can I watch your car, mister?" And Alan says, "I don't need to watch my car, mate." He says, "I've got a Alsatian in the back seat." He says, "Oh," he says, and can the Alsatian use a fire extinguisher?
you're crazy. The Alan, what did I say about Alan Shearer? I was gonna bring it up. I saw something about Alan Shearer today, but maybe not. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning into the show. It's been great. It's been lovely. We will be back. Tomorrow. Gary's got the
Shearer's
England
just
match.
been on about Wall's End Boys Club. I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
No, I just
you know,
read something.
hundreds of professionals.
But tomorrow, England match on Football Uncensored. So subscribe to that on YouTube right now. Just type it up on YouTube, Football Uncensored. Go subscribe to it. And actually, let me throw the link. Let me throw the link before you go. If you haven't, Gary will be doing the England match tomorrow against Ireland in the Leprechauns. So there's the link, Football Uncensored, in the chat right now. Go subscribe to that channel immediately if you haven't, and stay tuned. Hit the bell because we have Premier League predictions and a weekly show in there, as well as certain important matches. England plays tomorrow against Ireland. So there we go. So Ireland and Northern Ireland, do they have the same, not the same flag, but like color wise, or is it Northern Ireland very different?
Green.
It's completely green, kind of like the Saudi Arabia one.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
The
Yeah,
flag,
I thought so.
the flag's red, white, and orange, white, and green.
But that's the Republic of Ireland.
Yeah.
But Northern Ireland's flag is all green.
Union Jack.
Oh yeah, Northern Ireland is part of the part of the UK. Sorry, the Republic of Ireland said, "Screw that, man. We're not gonna be part of this." They're proper Irish folks.
They did the American thing and said.
No doubt, man. That's you gotta have. So, but they are in the same. Basically, they're divided. They're the same. Once upon a time, they used to be in the same country, basically. Yeah, cool stuff. We gotta go to Ireland, man. When I go to Newcastle, you good?
No, you can't do it. Well, you can, but it would take you 2 days.
2 days, man. What's this right there? We just go grab a boat and we just go there, man. We go to the Irish Sea.
Right, you do that.
The Irish Sea, man. Got some leprechauns jumping up and down.
For a week, not a fortnight, man. You want to do London, Edinburgh?
We're going to London, Edinburgh. We're going to go to Glasgow.
No, you're not big into Glasgow.
Glasgow, greatest city in Scotland, man.
No.
It's the capital, isn't it?
No, Edinburgh's the capital.
Oh, Edinburgh's the capital? All right, then. Well, where else can we go from around surrounding areas?
We'll find plenty for you to do, don't worry.
What other countries around, man? Or you guys are just a little island, though. That's the problem. You can't go anywhere. That's crazy, man. So were Scotland part of England at one point? Did they break away too? No, not really, because they're still part of the.
They're still part.
They're still part, yeah. All right. Well.
The Active Union, 1568, I think. No, that's right.
Yeah. I've been watching the Empress on Netflix. Really good show, and but they're in charge of. They're German, obviously. My question was, what is the difference between? I had to Google it. What is it? Because they refer to the main guy as the emperor.
1707.
Hold on. Their reference to the guy as the emperor. But what is the difference between a king and an emperor? And on Google, it says that an emperor is in charge of multiple kingdoms, and a king is just
an
one.
Emperor rules an empire, which is a mixture of kingdoms.
But that you don't have emperors no more, though. I mean, that's kind of like that's old school.
They've got emperors in the Far East. Still an emperor, Japan.
So when the UK's name used to be what? The United Kingdom in Northern Ireland. What is it?
That's always been the United Kingdom since the Active Union.
No, but you guys say it like a long way, like something, and then
of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Okay, and then but before it used to not be like an emperor of, like, if you refer to a king, it would be like King of England.
Yeah,
in Northern Ireland.
The empire was officially abolished in 56, I think it was.
And it was like, but the title was an emperor of India or something like that. Was it?
Yeah, it was. Well, it was the whole.
What was the full title? That's what I'm trying to get to.
The world, man.
No, but not in the 50s. The 50s, you guys got your ass kicked out by the 50s. So. But I'm talking about, what was the title of the? Say what would be a title of the king?
The Empire Games, which are now the Commonwealth Games. The Empire was turned into what was called the Commonwealth, And the Empire Games for Wembley was built for the Empire Games.
So that's what it's telling me. The Commonwealth. Colton says the Commonwealth. But what was the title? Because there's a title. Like, what the Queen's title? What would she be when she was alive? Because it's a long title, man. It's like the Queen of Great Britain.
Queen
and
of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Because I've been, I love me some royals, man. So I was going back in time to her father at the time.
I love me some royals.
And when her father was coronated because the numpty brother couldn't handle it, his title was huge, man. It's a long, but that's what I'm trying to get to. What was the title? Because at the time, he was still. I think Queen's father was the emperor of India. Wasn't he? India was part of the empire.
Yeah, that was before it was the Commonwealth.
Yeah. And I think was Jamaica not part of that too?
Yes, still is.
Still is Jamaica? I thought Jamaica got independence.
Queen of United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and of her other realms and territories.
There we go.
Queen and head of Commonwealth, defender of the faith.
Oh, there we go. See that? Then we got to somewhere, man. Come on, man. You're supposed to know this stuff and you have to Google it? Oh, man, you let me down, man. That's it. And yesterday, too, you're supposed to grade the quiz, man. That's what I'm trying to get to, man. That's the long-ass title. There we go. Anyways. Is Australia part of the...
So we finished the show, ladies and gentlemen, on Queen Elizabeth II and her long-arsed title.
Exactly. So is Australia part of the crew?
Commonwealth, yeah. So she's the Queen is still officially head of state in Canada, in Australia.
Look at that. Look at Japadoni. Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland and of her other realms and territories, Queen, head of the Commonwealth, defender of the faith. See, that's what we're talking about. Faith. Come on, man. Mighty Wayne, what's wrong with you, man? That's a proper title right there, man. Anyways, it's been lovely. It's been great. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one, folks. Bye-bye.